Welcome back, and thanks for tuning in again. Thanks for joining me on my little journey here. When last we talked, I had looked around the towns of Britain and Britannia Castle, and also the town of Trinsic, and that means I've got most of the information, or pretty much all of the information I'm gonna need for the first two virtues, which are gonna be honor for Trinsic. We've got the rune for that. We know it's the dungeon shame, and we also have the mantra figured out, and we know the location of the shrine. But of course, first we should go to the dungeon and get the stone from there. I think that's the right order, right? Because I don't remember that we would go to the shrine before we'd go to the dungeon. So I guess that's our next goal. And for compassion, it's a town of Britain. The dungeon is the Spice. We know the location of that. We know roundabout where the shrine actually is, and we know the mantra, which is Moo. And so we have that figured out. We also know how to raise our virtues, or we know this for most of them. And now, actually, our next course of action is we're gonna go to the next city, and that's gonna be the town of Moonglow. And if I remember correctly, and I don't because I'm looking at the chart, as you can see, if we look at the row for Trinsic, we have to step through the Moon Gate on the second phase. We also, could go to Magincia, and as you can see, we haven't really, we've been to Skara Brae, but we haven't really done much there. We have not done much in Yelm. I still have to find a key for that. I think there's a little bit more to do in U. And then, of course, I want to get to the towns that are not reachable by the Moon Gate. For example, Vesper, which is going to be quite a walk to get there. And I would love to get the Buccaneers then. The pirate city, I guess. But for that, I'm going to need a boat. And in order to get a boat, I need to walk along the shore or wait along the shore until a boat comes by, and then I'll have to take it over if I remember correctly. So let us now go to the Moon Gate, wait for it to appear, and then step through it when it's on the second phase. But first, let's kill some orcs. How about that? And we're still missing a lot, or maybe it's a range thing, I don't know. And I still will probably try to get Maria into melee range. And it's nice that the enemies are getting closer. So let's see if I can hit them better. I can't figure out yet whether your hit chance is lower if the enemy is further away, or whether it's just always like a RNG thing where it really doesn't make a difference, because I did miss quite a bit at close range, especially when I was trying to melee with Maria, which I'm gonna do soon, I think, because she's getting attacked now, but that's gonna be okay. She's one of the she's the martial arts mage, I guess, and she killed the guy. Nice, that's some XP for Maria, or Mariah, however we're gonna pronounce it. Yeah. Be afraid. Maria, the battle mage. Yeah, those Ettins are a bit more sturdy. But now he's really in trouble because she's gonna hit him with a staff. Oh, okay, she didn't get a chance to, so let the YOLO open the chest. 54 gold, which is good, because one of the things, you know what, we're gonna do that first. I still need a bow for Shimino, our ranger. I mean, what's a ranger without a bow, right? And in order to get one, I will need a bit more money. So what I would like to do before we go to the next town is I guess I'll have to farm a little more. because also in Moonglow, that would be a good opportunity to pick up. Wow, what's this? To pick up some regions. That's like a whole army of. Wow, he hit him. That's a whole army of rogues. I really should try to like grind up quite a bunch of money, actually. Get Maria a ton of regions. And eventually, I remember that one of the most powerful weapons, the most powerful weapon for mages is the magic wand, which is available in Buccaneer's Den. Again, the place I want to go to. For a metric ton of money, I guess. Hey. Let Maria tank for Dupre. I just did two very stupid moves because I need to pay more attention to the correct order instead of talking so much, I guess. Oh, nice. He moved into the same lane, which is helpful. Yeah, they got no chance, but I don't think I should get cocky because I remember that the dungeons were stepping things up a bit, especially if you went down further down the levels. And of course that makes sense because I mean that was the same in Ultima 1. You know, at first I would only have like skeletons and bats and stuff, and then I'd get to gelatinous cubes and balrons and liches and everything. So it of course is obvious that the further down I get, the harder it's gonna be. Guess I can always try to escape if things get dire with an exit spell. But I don't really want to travel all the way to a dungeon and then crawl out of there again with 3 dead characters. That was stupid again, sorry. So I wonder how much money that is gonna get me. Yes, they're clean now. You know, this is like very, very basic turn-based combat, right? I'm actually planning on playing Baldur's Gate 3 soon, which comes out in August, but they've been in early access ever since 2020. And I did play that a little bit about 2 years ago. Enjoyed it very much. 78 gold. Enjoyed it very much. And at the same time, what is this? Is this a headless? You know, I wanted to wait for full release, but it was like a beautiful game, and I can't wait to try it again. And I'm probably gonna have a guest on one of my videos who knows much more about Dungeons and Dragons that I do, which is Baldur's Gate 3 is based on. And you know, that's like the current generation of RPGs with turn-based combat, and of course, you know, it's so much more advanced with using the environment and having like a wide variety of attacks and spells that you can use. So, you know, you can come up with like these really cool strategies, like, I don't know, having one of your mages make a brain and then apply lightning to that, or you know, using line of sight. And you've got like all these classes, like for example I was playing a druid, which could turn into like a bear or a spider, and that was really cool. And so this is like the great grandfather of this kind of game, with some very basic turn-based combat. But you know, again, let's not forget the time that this came out. And that is something else that I would like to talk about for a little while, maybe, is the storytelling in these games. Because I mentioned it before in preparation for this video. I looked at the like lore books that came with the game with you, because back then so much happened by way of the manual. with like all the additional material, maps, lore books, spell books, and stuff. And this is actually taking quite a long time, right? So anyway, you couldn't have like these amazing cinematics or anything in the game. And of course you could have quite a lot of dialogue, but then I guess it also was like a memory issue. Because I mean, you know, if you put like 1 million lines of text in there, that would take away from the storage space on your disk. So you'd have to cut back on other things. And also, if you look at the development of RPGs back in the day and, you know, look at what other games were around at the time, I don't think it's very surprising that the storytelling... Hold on, I'm kind of... Those are wisps, right? I don't think I fought them before this time around. Okay, wisps, cool. So, you know, storytelling was quite different, you know, because most of the games didn't have that, because it was just such a difficult decision to make, what to use your storage space on a disk for. And, you know, and then, you know, since most games didn't really delve too much into this amazing amount of storytelling, well, it just wasn't a standard thing. And, you know, so if we look at the stories of these games, they seem to be pretty basic. I mean, if you look at the first Ultima game and like the story about the evil wizard, and you have to kill his minions and crawl through some dungeons, and then you get powerful enough, and then you do some time traveling, and finally you get to fight him. That's pretty basic stuff. But again, you know, that's what the 80s, I guess, were like, and what game design was at the moment, you know, at that time. And, you know, I know that if we look at those stories told in those games, I know they really can't hold a candle compared to the storytelling nowadays. But at the same time, and maybe this is just my nostalgia kicking in or something, but I really do feel like these games have a certain magic to them. Like I still find them immersive, even though there aren't like multi-million-dollar cinematics featuring like real actors and amazing scenes and stuff. I mean, you'd read the manual, you'd read some of the dialogue, and there's not much in there. I mean, I have no idea, I can't even guess how many lines of dialogue are in this game, but it's really not that much. But, you know, as I said, the mind would fill the gaps. You know, the game would look better in your mind because you were imagining all of the stuff that the game couldn't show you. And when it comes to storytelling, I mean, surely there was that Dungeons and Dragons influence, because Richard Garriott did like to play that game, and we can see it in some of the monsters, the monster designs, the naming and everything. So that was, of course, an influence. But I remember when I read the book, the Ultimate Book of Ultima, it was called. That was not my book recommendations that I posted earlier this week. He said that he didn't really read a lot of fantasy stuff. He was more into like classic 80s movies mixing fantasy and science fiction, or stuff like Time Cops and everything. So that was more of like his type of deal. So that and storytelling that you had in the 80s and cartoon shows and the movies, combined with like some of Dungeons and Dragons, that was, you know, what inspired these games, I think. And so it's not exactly deep, but to me it has a certain charm to it. Sorry. So, I just got us another bow. I'm gonna equip it, and Shamina's got a bow. So now it's time to get to Moonglow. Let's go back to the Moongate. Let's step through it on the second phase. And yeah, and once again, while I'm doing another combat, another battle, which I guess is like a good opportunity to ramble on a little bit, I still think that the idea of taking this game and going, okay, it's not about slaying the dragon. I mean, you do some of that as well, but it's not about slaying the dragon. It is about like, how do you live up to these virtues? How do you become like this shining hero who's not only strong and can kill like the toughest monsters, but also will have to do things that are, you know, virtuous. I think that was a pretty brave step. I mean, that could have gone really wrong. And yes, I do see the flaws with the game, and yes, most of it is still about fighting mostly. But, you know, to think about that, this guy went and said, okay, I'm gonna make a game about this with the tools that we have these days. I thought that was pretty cool. And so, yes, these stories may not be enough to fill like a ton of lore books or, you know, additional novels or something. But still, I think for their time, this was great stuff. So, yeah. And yes, I know I've got some rose-tinted glasses on, but I'm able to sometimes peek around them, believe me. Okay, we've got a bunch of orcs, we've got a troll, and we are currently waiting for our Moongate. And once again, I know it must seem kind of silly that I've got a mage in my group and she's not really casting spells. But so far, I'm doing okay with the group that I have and their damage output. I mean, enemies are dying pretty quickly, so I'm gonna save up on the money that I would spend for regions, and hopefully at some point I can get Maria her magic wand, and then she can use that. I don't think that uses regions. Oh, guess my main character is about to tank a little bit, right? That was silly. Maria isn't even in range. And now the troll is fleeing, which is good. So let's see if we can take someone else out. Yes, that was a troll. Keep forgetting to get her in range. You know, all these characters have bows. Maybe I should put like a sling on, like equip Maria with a sling. And, you know, see whether she can actually use that. I haven't tried that yet. And then I'd have like 4 guys throwing projectiles. I'm just gonna keep her standing there, using her turn for some staff swinging. It's good practice. She needs it. So yeah, almost done here. I wonder whether that orc up there is like trying to wait and see how the battle goes to join in, backstab me or something, because he hasn't moved. Is he stuck or something? No, he's fleeing. I don't think I fled the fight yet, which is good. And maybe at some point I should maybe look up like the numbers or like the mechanics of the virtues and try to find out what exactly I should do. Now this is a little... No, okay, he left. Acid trap evaded, very good. Let's wait for the Moongate, but I'm gonna get attacked by the orc first. I don't mind, because it's XP, it's money, but also I would like to get to Moonglow to show you guys what's going on there again, and find the stuff I'm still missing from there. And I would like to do that before the month of August or something. And with these, the amount of these battles and how long they're going on, you know, it will take a little while. And to speed things up, I will bring my battle mage into a melee range and have her slap orc city with a staff. Maybe I should also turn the sound off. Not sure. Come on, Maria. Move in there. I mean, the sound as well is really. I mean, it was explained to me by one of my viewers, because I don't know much about the hardware around these days. But I do remember that like people were always going on about the sound chip of computers like the C64. I mean, for the time, for example, the C64 had a pretty good sound chip, and PCs, you know, they weren't meant to be like real gaming machines, so they didn't really have the capabilities, I guess, to have like really good sound. And I think it was Squall F explained to me that it's like that these were mostly meant to just like do some buzzing or humming sound. And so of course, you know, the best you could do was this kind of sound, which is kind of silly. But I guess I don't mind too much. It really doesn't bother me. It's not exactly a joy to listen to this, but it doesn't bother me really because I've heard so much of that when I was a kid and teenager. So I live, and I hope you will too. I mean, it's kind of like charming, right? It's like you're being used to driving around with like, I don't know, a Tesla or something. And then you have one of these really old cars going by, and they have these really old horns that go Aruga, right? I mean, that's charming. It sounds horrible, but it's charming, right? So, yeah. Okay. Nope, nope. Oh, damn it. I missed... Oof. I almost missed the gate there because I was in the dialogue to open the chest. So, we are back in Moonglow now. I'm gonna save the game, because we don't mess anything up. I do not want to tell you how often it happened to me during my Ultima 1 playthrough, and also when I was trying out this game, how often I accidentally attacked a guard or any other character in game in town. So I'm a little ashamed of that. But, yeah, so that's why I'm saving before I go in there. So, let's get going. Welcome back to Moonglow, and let's do another examination. And try to find out, we have to talk to people anyway. Let's try to find out where we find the stuff. So, I think that's the person that says hello. Kind of weird that, he says he bears greetings because we're in this town, but do we seek an inn? Yeah, we should check out an inn. Yes. Which inn? So let's talk again. Let's ask about Moonglow. Let's talk about what was the virtue for this town. Let me see. Almost forgot. No, I did forget actually. Let me look at my list. Honesty. Okay, so let's ask about honesty. Yeah, well, I think Calabrini is not really gonna be of much help. So here's the jester. Decker. I earn an honest living. Honest labor bears a lovely face. So let's try honesty. No. Let's ask about a rune. Let's ask about a shrine. Let's ask about a mantra. Let's ask about a face. Just guessing. Now I'm wondering, because this is the chest that Maria was sitting right next to when I first met her. So, as I said before, usually around these chests, or especially in treasure rooms, you will find stuff. And I wonder whether, I mean, this could also be a trap, because if you're playing this game for the first time and you don't know that you're not supposed to search to open chests in town, because that's like, yeah, okay. because that's kind of dishonest. Well, I just found the rune of honesty. Let me get my list and put that down. We've got the rune, so now we have the rune. What's that giveaway of that chest? I didn't open it. I just kept pressing search and searching every tile. Then we've got the dungeon Deceit. It's a dungeon for this virtue. The shrine is north of Moonglow on Dagger Isle. And we still need the mantra. And yeah, that's it. We just need the mantra. So we'll have to figure out who knows the mantra. And now that we've learned a new skill, which is recognizing hidden doors, we'll keep an eye out for those. So let's ask the battered mage, Tyrone. Searched for the blue stone. Stones are what we get from dungeons. Yeah, that's that's how we learned that Deceit is the right dungeon. Okay. So let us talk to more people and figure out who can tell us about the mantra. So elderly woman. Cosima. What's her job? I'm an alchemist. I'm gonna say no. The secrets in the reach is very helpful. So let's ask about honesty. Let's ask about a mantra. Nope, no such luck. Okay. I'm gonna keep searching here. Met a regal paladin. Cromwell. So what's her job? Honesty. A few honest men are better than numbers. Thus thou strive to be honest. Yes. Then you will need the mantra. Yay! We got that figured out as well. So the mantra is and I don't know if I mentioned what we do with those mantras. You have to gain mastership, or like be an avatar of all the virtues, and then you can you go down to the dungeons and get the stone for each virtue, and then once you've mastered a certain virtue, let's say honesty, you go find the shrine of honesty and you meditate at that shrine of honesty to become, to really become the avatar of that virtue. And in order to meditate, you need the mantra whatever. Okay, so that's that. Let us rest at the inn. Yes. And we're going to take that room. And there's one more thing maybe that I would like to talk about for today. We talked about storytelling, and then, I do see its flaws, and of course it's not as deep. And we talked about, or I talked about, the whole thing about Ultima 1 and how it would mix fantasy and science fiction. And I remember the reactions of some people when I went from running around in Sosaria, killing skeletons and dungeons, and then suddenly I'd be sitting in a spaceship, flying to space, picking out a fighter, and then going to kill like space pirates or something. Let's talk to this person, by the way. And that was really weird. And again, I'm not defending Richard Garriott because I don't like that part either, and I thought it was kind of jarring to have that whole thing, that whole change. But once again, I mean, that was like his first game. So, and it was at a time when there weren't that many RPGs. There weren't really role-playing computer games then, or console games or whatever. I do remember there was like this dungeon crawler game on my old Atari VCS, but this was the time when all of this stuff came together. And once again, if we look at like certain franchises of the time, I mean, look at Masters of the Universe. You had this barbarian like hero, and he's fighting this guy with a skeleton face who's using magic, and you've got Castle Grayskull and all that stuff. But at the same time, they're using like these gliders, these little spaceship type things, or they're using blasters, and or like Man at Arms, he's got like this chest piece with all these contraptions on there and stuff. So there was a bit of that mixture. And if you think about, for example, World of Warcraft, which was way later, it had steampunk in there, it had space travel in there. Of course, it's a difference. I mean, a space shuttle, like an actual NASA space shuttle, would still be very jarring in World of Warcraft. But I mean, we accept it there. Maybe because it just fits better, because they just did well in establishing it. It was a little weird with this game. And the one thing I wanted to talk about while I give this this beggar some money, I guess. Turns away. So let me. Oh. Nope. We're not opening chests. Why is there a chest there? Why does it let me? No. Talk. Give. And he's not. Isn't that guy who was really being weird and saying, like, if he dies, the world falls apart or something? And then I didn't believe him and you got insulted? I guess. I'm sorry about switching subjects. The final thing I want to talk about is naming, because it is kind of weird sometimes that you have characters with names like Dupre and Maria and Rothgar and stuff like that. And then suddenly you have a guy called X or Max or what was his name again? Tyrone, right? Because that sounds weird and like this medieval type fantasy game. But then again, it fits that whole science fiction vibe yet in there. And maybe, you could, if you can accept like space shuttles in the previous games and stuff. I don't like the names. I don't like when like a character's called, I don't know, has one of these very modern names. But again, I guess it's either a weird sense of humor or just the way that Richard Garriott imagined his world. So we are done actually in Moonglow. And so what we could do in the next session is we could go to Minnock, where we still have to discover some stuff. We have in Yellum, we don't have the rune, but we have the mantra. We know the dungeon there. We can go to, and Minnock, we hardly have anything. We also have to go to Pars and Wesper, 2 towns which we can't get to through the moon gates. And finally, then I guess it's time to try and somehow get the Buccaneers then, to get a lockpick and the wand and everything. We'll need a lot of money for that though. Let me see if there's one more thing I could try today. Let's look at the Moongate intrinsic. No, we're in Moonglow. And yes. No, let's go to Britain. Because I was considering, if you see on that list, it says that if you go to the first phase in Moonglow, you go to the Black Stone. But I am not sure whether you can get back from there. I don't want to close the game while I'm in some far part of the world. I wanted to explore what that is. I don't quite remember. And I kind of spoiled myself by seeing it on this list. But we'll check it out soon. So for now, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Britain by stepping through the moon gate on the second phase, right? So let me wait a little bit. And I hope that'll get a... Oh, there's another orc coming. What a surprise. So let's try to take him out quickly. That was the first one, yay. Wow, I'm on fire here. Nice. I'm so impressed that I seem to be hitting much more now. Yes. Everything's a hit. That orc is fleeing, and I just jinxed it by saying everything's a hit, and I start missing. Or stop hitting. So anyway, almost done here. I also kind of wonder why these orcs are wearing red shoes and red gloves. But yeah, okay, so let's open chest. Pure YOLO is going to be my stuntman for the rest of the game, opening chests. I don't know why, but he's got a pretty decent amount of HP. So yeah, let's wait for the moon gate. And let's see whether it will come up before another enemy does. Oh. It's like kind of waiting on a train that's late. Okay, phase 1. Phase 2. And we're back in Britain. So, that's it for today. I've got some other stuff I'm going to upload tonight. Some other things I wanted to show you. Let us save the game. And thanks again for watching. And I really appreciate you guys like follow me on this. So I'll be back soon. And thanks for watching as always. Bye-bye.